There are days that go as fine and as uneventful as possible, and others that just go to shit. For him, it's always been the latter. He didn't know why he thought things at his home were cooling down, because that same night, it was like a bomb exploded into his face. She was angry at something regarding him, but was talking so much nonsense about cards, curses, and death that he knew getting into an argument with her would not be worth it. With the patience of a saint, he walked straight past her. Once he crossed the threshold of his door, he basically shoved it shut when she was still behind him, and, try as she might, just wasn't strong enough as her brother and ended up getting it slammed into her face. He rubbed his quivering hands on his face as she then proceeded to tear through the apartment in a screeching, wrathful tantrum. He leaned against his door, his blood pressure and adrenaline at an all-time high, as she just would twist and jiggle the doorknob and bang against the one thing keeping her away from him in an effort to keep him awake, if not to get to him. He regretted not installing a lock in his door as soon as her temper started. And it's not like the landlord doesn't allow doors to be changed. A while before, when his sister first moved in, she wanted a lock on her door for privacy. He was fine with it at first. It was all to make her comfortable in his home. But now that it's come to this, he wished he'd reconsidered giving her that. Or even giving her so much to be happy. The clothes she already had, the phone she really didn't need. He basically could have still had the money he wasted and put it into settling his debt. He held his breath when she suddenly went quiet, curses of death and profanity falling away to tense silence as he inquired internally if she was finally done. He had listened silently for a moment and thought that she finally gave up and left. But he felt the door behind him slam loudly once again, but this time he heard harsh scrapes that splintered loudly and shook him to his core, and he just went stiff in shock. He didn't gawk for long, though, and he flew into a blind rage, spinning on his heel, nearly breaking his doorknob with his grip as he turned it and finally threw his door open. The force was enough to dent his wall for sure, and the loud explosion of noise was also capable of crippling anyone into terror, but not for his sister, who acted instantly, and raced away immediately towards her own room, screaming absolute bloody murder. He was about to give chase, but looked down when he saw a flash of something on the floor. He became horrified when he saw a large kitchen knife discarded on the wooden floorboard, and jagged deep lines carved on the outside of his door. He could not sleep at all that night, and too many times did the intruding thought of breaking down her own door to get to her popped into his mind throughout that night, up until the morning. When he passed her door, which was undoubtedly locked, he heard absolutely nothing on the other side, but he didn't remain long, and was more than eager to leave that damned apartment for work.